save everyone.
The weight of the world once again rests on Spider-Man's shoulders. And it is not just the fate of humanity that he is grappling with. He also has to live up to the sky-high anticipation of movie fans who have been waiting for this one. Spider-Man: No Way Home. It is the third film to feature Tom Holland. He is far from the only big star in this movie, though. I can't wait to hear what Eli thinks about it. There he is in his home studio. We got to show the backdrop here. Oh, I can barely see it. I thought you might be where. There it is.
You go.
It's a darn good thing you're not getting rid of that Spider-Man costume because he keeps coming back. You wore it for me once. You did wear it for me once. I thought I might see it again today. No.
Well, you know, I gotta keep some things under wraps.
Exactly. Okay, listen, I mentioned the stars that Tom Holland. I mean, how on earth can this film, Eli, live up to the hype?
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, it feels like Sony Pictures outsourced their marketing to all of us. Every time there was a new trailer, a new poster, the nerdosphere would go into overdrive, analyzing every scintilla, every pixel for what does it mean. But just to remind you, the new movie picks up right from the end of the last film, Spider-Man: Far From Home. In his last act of vengeance, Mysterio reveals that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. There you go, broadcasting it to the globe. So this is where we begin. Peter is shocked. J. Jonah Jameson ranting about the Spider-Menace, and poor MJ trapped in the middle of a crowd of angry New Yorkers spouting nonsense about Spider-Man. Let's take a closer look.
You're just a kid?
You murdered Mysterio? Helped him murder Mysterio?
No, I didn't.
Come on,
Anybody?
All this time, people looked up to this boy and called him a hero. Well, I'll tell you what I call him. Public enemy number one.
I never want to do this ever again!
MJ, I'm so sorry, but I can't see anything.
I mean, I love the fact that I'm listening to talking heads in a Spider-Man movie. I love the fact that it's kind of a reality check. Like in the comics, when Spider-Man swings around with women, it seems like it's kind of romantic and fun. She's terrified, right? This is awkward. She's clawing at the mask. It's a lot of good fun. Now, another reality check is that Peter Parker is now the most famous person in the world. And so that is annihilating his future, his dreams of, you know, hanging out with his best friend Ned and MJ. They have colleges they want to apply to. It is all falling apart. And the thing about Peter, he never wants anyone else to suffer for something that he's responsible for. So what's he going to do? Well, he pays a visit to his friendly neighborhood wizard man. Now, the good news is Doctor Strange is a Brooklyn neighbor. He's just a couple blocks away. The bad news is this Doctor Strange, he seems a little off. He's kind of ornery. He's kind of surly. There's not really a good reason for this. I wasn't satisfied by any explanation. Of course, there are fan theories, and I won't share those right now. But for whatever reason, this Doctor Strange decided to cast a spell to make that secret identity secret again. But, you know, when you mess with time, space, and reality, things get a little messy. Let's take another look.
We started getting some visitors. From every universe.
Hello, Peter.
There you go. Oh my goodness. Doc Ock himself, as played by Alfred Molina. And so, like, so many implications from this. What they call this is the multiverse. And as they kind of cracked open reality to try and fix that secret identity problem, well, what happened is they somehow pulled other people, bad guys, with connections to a Peter Parker into this version. So we're talking dimensions, we're talking parallel Earth. What we're also talking, Heather, is the kind of corporate synergy we have never seen, because not only is Doc Ock a bad guy that this Spider-Man has never seen before. We know Doc Ock is a bad guy from another Spider franchise entirely. He comes from a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. We're talking a movie from 2004. And of course, he's not alone. Now we have Jamie Foxx showing up as a new and improved Electro from an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. And not only that, we got the Lizard and the great big baddie of them all, the Green Goblin. Let's enjoy.
You're struggling to have everything you want while the world tries to make you choose.
There you go. You know, some bad guys, they don't need that Infinity Gauntlet to be menacing. You just need that wonderful voice work of Willem Dafoe.
Okay. I'm overwhelmed. I don't even know. I mean, everybody and his brother is in this film. Does it work?
It does work. I mean, it works, and it also works in a very cynical way, right? Like, I literally spoke to someone last night who is now getting his kids to watch all the old Spider-Man movies just so that they can appreciate what happens in this new Spider-Man movie. So on the one hand, yes, this is a very kind of cynical, amazing movie way of like leveraging corporate content. But on the other hand, what I will say is that it's a lot of fun. You know, first just watching Spider-Man and his friends, MJ and Ned, just meet these villains from another era, giggling at Otto Octavius, seeing Electro's makeover, going from being a nerdy wallflower to actually someone with kind of a slick fade and a little more attitude. Willem Dafoe is pure acting pyrotechnics as Norman the Green Goblin, with or without the mask. But here's the thing, Heather. I mean, the fact is, Spider-Man is supposed to be one of the most relatable characters in the Marvel Universe. That is why he's so popular. He is supposed to be the everyman, this guy who is just trying to get through his life, pay his bills, you know, keep Aunt May happy. And I think as Spider-Man got, you know, bigger and more critical to the MCU, he was starting to lose what made him so special. He was becoming like a mini Tony Stark. He was incredibly powerful. What this movie does is actually bring Spider-Man back down to his roots. I mean, the thing about Spider-Man is that, you know, anyone is supposed to be able to be Spider-Man, like me or anyone else. That is what you put on that mask. Anyone can imagine yourself as Spider-Man. He is supposed to be that connection, and there is a moral quality to him. There is a goodness, and this is what happens at the end of this movie. Is you look at these movies by John Watts. You had Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man No Way Home. The irony is of all of that, after all of this is about Spider-Man coming back home, bringing Spider-Man back to his original purpose by going through all these multiversal shenanigans, by confronting bad guys from another reality, by basically forcing him to choose what kind of hero do you want to be. And the one thing that Tom Holland gives us as Spider-Man is a Spider-Man who is good, a Spider-Man who helps. And so at the end of the day, we get back to where we started, and that is a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man worth 4.5 stars out of 5.
I didn't see that ending coming. Like, how many Spider-Man costumes do you have?
Well, you know, they keep doing new Spider-Man, so I have to keep, you know, adding
to the wardrobe.
To the wardrobe. You know, if I've learned anything, you know, anything is possible, and we live in a reality with multiple. There could be another Eli Glasner dressed up as who knows what character in another parallel dimension. So.
That I give you an extra 0.5 just for that. I loved it. Thank you, Eli, as always. Great to see you this morning.
Does any part of you feel relieved about all this?
What do you mean?
Now that everybody knows, you don't really have to hide or lie to people.
For the record, I never wanted to lie to you. But how do you tell someone that you're Spider-Man? Now everybody knows.
We tampered with the stability of space-time. The multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little.